I absolutely loved the book, loved the movie as well. Miranda, I'll start with you. What drew you to this series? Because this takes us a few months after the film ended.
You know, I'm like you. I was a huge fan of the book. I love the movie. So when Gracie talked to me about it, I was automatically interested in being a part of that world. But it was reading the characters in the script. I just really vibed with this character, Virginia Ambrose. I thought she had a lot of cool, interesting quirks to her, and she was kind of unpredictable.
Well, she certainly ruffles a few feathers at Goods department store. Yeah. Give us a bit of insight of what she was like to play. Set amongst all these other characters, a lot of them have established relationships, and she comes into it.
Yeah, she's very keen to establish a certain level of customer service that she doesn't think exists at Goods. So she's sort of weeding through the people that she thinks are good for business, and she really wants to, you know, put her own mark and change things there. And so she's going to come head to head with Magda. She kind of has very different ideas about fashion to Magda.
Oh, she certainly does. Gracie, visually this is just gorgeous. Absolutely love this world of the early 1960s. What was it like to recreate it? Because there's so many different, I guess, visually so many different things that you've got to be really accurate about. But, you know, the colours are just gorgeous as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much fun, and I think really it was one of those shows where, like, makeup, production design, costume and cinematography all came together and kind of created this look. And it was just so fun to kind of go back in that time, and especially with the design of the department store, like from what colours, and actually seeing that come to life. We shot down in Adelaide studios, and so you'd be outside in Adelaide, and then it's like stepping into a museum, and you'd walk inside and on the soft carpet, and you know, so that was the easy part of the shoot, was like working in the department store. It was quite fun.
Yeah. And Gracie, I found this really interesting. You know, this time was a real snapshot of Australia, and it really shows through. So many different challenges in Australia in that time, but so much is still relevant today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, you know, hopefully if we go to season 2, there's also, you know, issues coming up. You know, like obviously the pill had just kind of started to make its way through, and there's, you know, like obviously issues now with abortion and all that kind of shining through, which obviously isn't in our season this time. But yeah, there's definitely, you know, I make a joke and say, yeah, it's interesting to see how we haven't progressed that much for women and how hard it still is. So I think, you know, but there's a great fantasy element to the show as well, and I think it's really fun to kind of sit back and imagine working in a department store and the fun you could have had back then.
Miranda and Gracie, I want to ask both of you, but Miranda, I'll start with you. What's it like working with your sister? I mean, this isn't the first time you've worked together, but is it easy? Is there a shorthand? Is it frustrating? What is it like? Better be nice now, though.
It's actually super easy. I really respect the work that Gracie puts into everything. She's super well prepared. She has such a great energy on set. She really keeps the whole team going. It's just been really fun. I mean, it was fun on the clearing also when we worked together, but now that we've worked together before, we sort of even know each other better in a work way. So it was just a really fun set to be on.
And Gracie, is it kind of nice bossing your big sister around?
Yeah, imagine if I just said the opposite. Like, yeah, no, it was
work together again.
I know. That was great. I mean, I also had Peter O'Brien. I had my niece Darcy O'Brien. You know, I've always had Dad in things. It's kind of it's actually really fun working with family. There's like, they understand, you know, all aspects of my work and stuff just because they're family as well. So it's kind of yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience.
And look, speaking of family, I know you've done a documentary on your father, who is just fabulous. Talk us through the premiere, because that happened just a few days ago in Sydney. What was that like, and what was it like putting this out there and getting people's reaction?
Yeah, it was a big whirlwind. It was kind of a bit of an out-of-body experience.
It was totally it really was. It's sort of, being there was...
You know, I've seen the film hundreds of times. Yeah. Obviously, Miranda and I are kind of living with, you know, what Dad's going through at the moment as well. So it's kind of seeing that in front of everyone. But it was such a magical night. There were so many friends and family, and it was a very supportive audience. And, you know, I think it's, it did really well. So, you know, I think Dad would be really happy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, Barry Otto, we all love seeing him on the screen, and I'm really glad that it's been such a great experience for you both. So any chance that you two will work together again, you two sisters?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, maybe
sure.
Miranda could direct me, and then that would be quite funny.
You'd have to give me some tips on direction.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, the series is absolutely fantastic, and thank you both so much for joining us to chat about it on News Breakfast, and I wish you all the best with it because it is fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks so much.